Hello guys, welcome back from another video live with Dearly. Today guys, I'm very so excited because we are going to interview the world leading Bigfoot Sasquash researcher.
Get my six.
Thank you for allowing me to interview you. So I don't wanna prolong this. So let's get into it. I prepare a 5 question for you, sir. Oh, okay, Crazy Lake. My question number 1 is.
Are we started now?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. My number 1 question
Aren't
is.
you going to thank me for being here?
Oh, thank you for being here and for being my guest
Yes.
for today's show. Okay, here's my question number 1.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Why did you begin researching Bigfoot Sasquatch on your property?
Well, that's because we started having some strange things happen around here that we couldn't explain. And we still have a channel called Homesteading Off the Grid where I do a lot of my research, where I showcase a lot of my research. Wait, just give me a second. Okay, so we started having strange things happen, couldn't explain it. I started talking about it on the channel, and it was the viewers on that channel who were pointing out the fact that some of the phenomena, some of the behaviors, some of the oddities we were experiencing on our property was related to Bigfoot Sasquatch. And so I started making some videos really about nothing, but where I was capturing the entire background of certain locations on our property where some of these oddities had taken place. And the viewers picked up a lot of what was going on, explained it to me, and I started going further and further into the research based upon what they were telling me. And I have reason to believe that they may or may not be onto something.
Oh, okay. That was kind of
So that's it? Is the interview over?
No, I have another question.
Oh, I thought.
My question number 2 is, have you found Bigfoot Sasquatch on your property?
Potentially.
Okay. My 3rd question is, why did you call it Bigfoot Sasquatch instead of Bigfoot or Sasquatch?
Huh? What? Can you please repeat the question?
Why did you call it Bigfoot Sasquatch instead of Bigfoot or Sasquatch?
Why do I call it Bigfoot Sasquatch instead of either Bigfoot or Sasquatch?
Yeah.
First of all, this is a very serious matter, and I may or may not see something right now at our 12 o'clock. Give me 1 second, and I will come back, and I will be more than happy to answer that question.
Okay.
But we can't have dead time on your show here. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry to get up and walk over there and look at something that may or may not be right there. Instead, I'm not dodging the question. I will totally and fully answer this question. So to fill this dead time, while I'm over there, I want you to talk to your viewers. I want, we need to know what these people think that watch your show. So I want you to ask them which they prefer, and is there really any difference between normal rock salt, like table salt, and this new fancy schmancy Himalayan salt?
Yeah.
So there's a topic you can discuss in my absence, and I will be right back.
Okay, guys, he already asked you like the question that I'm going to ask you. So I wanna ask you the. Oh no.
Look, no one cares. Okay, no one cares. It was just a shadow of a tree trunk.
Okay.
Okay, so
Welcome back again.
thank you. Good to be back. Thanks for having me. Here's the deal: Bigfoot, Sasquatch versus Bigfoot or Sasquatch. In the beginning, early days, I have not grown up being like into Bigfoot, Sasquatch. It's something new to me. I never said, hey, when I grow up, I want to buy a secluded property out in Central Virginia that may or may not have this 8 feet tall, 800-pound creature living in the woods behind the house on the property. So I just simply didn't know what to call it at first. So I called it Bigfoot Sasquatch. And what I found was that really pissed a lot of people off. People would comment, they would say, it's either Bigfoot or it's Sasquatch. It's either or, it's not both. And my attitude on my channel is my channel. I keep it relatively PG rated. I don't make offensive material. If I have an idea to make a video about how I plant my corn one day and a video about tracking cryptids through the forest the next day, I don't see where I'm hurting anybody. So I thought, well, if it pisses so many people off to call this this creature that may or may not exist and which potentially is living in the forest behind my home, Bigfoot Sasquatch, I'm going to just call it Bigfoot Sasquatch from now on. So that's the answer to that question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have my number 4 question. Can you explain your unique researcher? What?
This whole thing just seems scripted.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Here, take your script
I
back.
prepare a question for you. Okay, question number 4. Can you explain your unique researcher method?
My unique research methods?
Yes.
I'd love to. Actually, I brought my potential Bigfoot Sasquatch field research kit here to the interview with me today. I'm going to go over there and get it. But like last time I left, I don't want to have any dead time on your show. So I'm going to give you a topic to discuss with your viewers, okay?
Okay.
It's the age-old debate, one that's never left us. Which is better, Coke or Pepsi? Go!
Okay, guys, did you hear that from Crazy Lake? Which one is better, Coke or Pepsi? For me, guys, I prefer Coke because I grow up. I see. because I grow up with Coke. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I hope you have that what you call this, like a thought, which one, like a question, which one is better, Pepsi or Coke? They're both better.
No one cares.
Okay.
All right, guys. So here's my field research kit. I haven't been taking it out much lately, but I brought it back because we've had some recent new incidences that we believe may or may not be Bigfoot Sasquatch related. Now, it really starts with the cap. Now, here's the whole, I'm going to show you some of the tools that I've invented. I invented everything here, except for this. Now this, of course, which I rang at the beginning, is a way, this shows respect. This lets him, her, it, or they know that we are here in their territory, okay? Like, you wouldn't want somebody coming into your home unannounced, so we announce our presence with this, okay?
Okay.
Now from there, it really starts, it's like a top-down approach with the cap, with the inside-out cap. Yes, my cap is inside out. Yes, I'm fully aware of it. And the whole inside-out cap thing, you know, started for the same reason I call the creature that may or may not exist and which potentially lives in the woods behind my house. Bigfoot Sasquatch, same thing with the cap. One day, like 2 winters ago, I made a video and I wore this cap, and I guess I accidentally did have it on inside out, okay? It's not that I was trying to, hide the brand name. I mean, I'm not here to give free advertisement to anybody, but it's a Carhartt, good quality, and I'm not getting paid to endorse them, and I'm not endorsing them. I'm just showing you what it is. I have nothing to hide with the cap. But here's the deal. So I had it on Inside Out that day, made an excellent, excellent video in which we may or may not have actually captured one of these creatures that may or may not exist and which potentially live in the forest behind my home. Speaking of which, yeah, keep watching. Man, so many people got butthurt over that. There must have been 20 vertically challenged individuals who live under bridges. Just here's all they took away from that video is that was my cap was on Inside Out, and therefore I must be an idiot. I must be a fake. I must be a fraud. He doesn't even know how to. And I thought, well, wow, this really is ruffling some feathers. The fact that my cap was on Inside Out. So every video since for the last 2 years, I intentionally have worn my cap inside out. Yeah, it's just that I don't care that people I don't know and will never meet say bad things about me on the internet. Wow. Okay, now, so that explains the cap. I've explained the triangle. Now here's, that was a big B. Now here goes this stuff, the card, or the construction paper cutouts, okay? I'd go through the woods, and by this time, you know, I'm going through the woods with my cap on Inside Out. I'm looking for him, her, it, or they, and I think I see something, so I zoom in on it, and I'm like, look, right there, beside the tree, you know? And then I get this. People would say, which tree? You're in the woods. There's like 1,000 trees. I get that. And they were like, come on, Grandpa. Can't you put some red circles in there? This is what they were saying. They were like, come on, Grandpa. Can't you like edit in some red circles like everybody else? And I sat back and, you know, this whole technology thing, I didn't grow up with it. Yo. I mean, I was in my last year of college when the internet came out, and we were forced to take a class on how to surf the internet. And I thought, who's ever going to use this? So now here I am a quarter of a century later, and it's where I work. I work in the internet. Look into your screen. I am here in the internet working. I would have never expected this. So here, my point to this is, I'm not a millennial. I'm a Generation X. I don't know how to use the technology other than play, stop, upload to YouTube. I don't know how to use these editing things. So I thought, well, the people are asking for red circles and stuff. So I just made a red circle with construction paper. I mean, that's a story behind a story. And so then after that, people are like, you know, not everything in that red circle's real. And I thought, you know, I'm not sure if it is or not. So why don't I make a blue rectangle so that, you know, there might be something there. When I do this, maybe, potentially, there's a Bigfoot Sasquatch there. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a fox in the distance. Maybe a deer. We have a lot of bear around here. And it still wasn't good enough. They're like, okay, we appreciate your blue rectangle, but look how much space it covers. Where exactly in the blue rectangle should we look? So I created the green arrow. So I'm like, look there, potentially at this point in the blue rectangle, there may or may not be something. I mean, to me, I think it's genius. You take an almost 50-year-old guy that doesn't know how to use modern editing software.
That was really genius.
Yeah, you just get some construction paper,
Yeah.
you know? And then, of course, I have some other tools we use sometimes. You know, I use engineering tape, and this is to measure the wind. Like right now, you can see there's a very slight breeze. Oh, my God. You know, I granted her this video for one reason and one reason only. Because she's smoking hot. No, that's not it. Okay. It's because she used to work with me on this Bigfoot Sasquatch stuff, but then she kind of started getting creeped out a little bit and she walked away from it. But here's something we always had problems with. Her laughing so much. This always giggling. People started calling her Giggly Girl. She got her name from our viewers.
Yeah, I didn't make that up.
We didn't make any of this stuff up. Our viewers have kind of created what we do.
Yeah.
But this is a very serious subject, and we're going to get into this because when I was going like this saying this is scripted, I read the next question, and so I'm going to address this in the next question. But we use this. Sometimes I'll hang this up to measure the wind because
look at that. There's a wind.
I'm saving this for the next question. I promise I am. Sometimes we'll be in places where just the strange things going on will be movement of limbs and branches. when there is no wind, but yet we can't see anything. It's almost as if there are invisible entities in our midst. So we got this to measure wind. Now this, people are always saying, why don't you put up trail cams? We do, we found it to be absolutely pointless. I don't know if him, her, it, or they, in which I use because the whole Bigfoot Sasquatch thing. No one has proven to have met any of these creatures. We don't know what they prefer to be called. Is it Bigfoot? Is it Sasquatch? Is it him? Is it her? Is it it? Or is it they? So I'm not judging. I'm not placing my values on these creatures should they exist, okay? I'm open-minded here. But these things, I'm kind of thinking him, her, it, or they might be able to tell when you have one of them up. I don't know if it's from the infrared. We had this one stolen from us in October of 2019 in a video in which is arguably the best Bigfoot Sasquatch footage on YouTube. Many of you have probably seen it. And then we found it like sometime later in the woods, and the SIM card didn't work. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what sort of pictures or video footage this thing picked up from whatever or whoever took it. SIM card didn't work. There's been times I've put brand new batteries in it to find the next day they've been completely drained. So there may be more than just him, her, it, or they up here. Well, I have reason to believe I know that there is. But that explains the trail cam, okay? And then
Next.
are we running out of time on your show?
Oh no, I'm like I saw you like you're.
Oh,
you're
I thought maybe you're trying to speed me along.
Oh no. Like next.
Well, just I got my hillbilly teeth.
researcher.
I've got my hillbilly teeth to show you how much I think about when those people say crazy lake. Why, I see why they call you crazy now. Think you got them big old 800-pound, 8 feet tall Sasquatch Bigfoots run up around. Why, boy, y'all crazy. Yeah, that's how much I care, brah. Okay, so.
Okay, you have more in there? Crazy
Well,
lake?
I got glue sticks.
What's that glue stick for?
Just because.
Wow, that was a really unique researcher.
You know, which brings me, I'm going to have to go over here and check something out. Before I do, I want to show my shirt. Guys, even the shirts, the production of the shirts and the COVID-19 masks and the backpacks and all these things came from, people commenting, OMG, next thing you know, you're going to start selling t-shirts. You're such a sellout. We're going to get to that. So I thought, hey, let's create some t-shirts. That seems to ruffle people's feathers. And you know what? We do enough in sales for t-shirts and COVID masks and all these other things from people who are supportive that our groceries and gas are paid every month just from that. So I saw a movement, potentially. I'm going to go check it out. I don't want to leave any airtime. We've got how many questions coming up?
I have one question.
One question.
Left.
So before that question, I'm going to go check this out. And I want you guys to not have any dead time. So here's the question I want you to ask your viewers.
Okay.
If you were standing in an open field, okay, and there's nothing but field, how would you know where the grass ends and the sky begins? Ask him that one, honey.
Guys, I don't have to ask you because the way he say it, it's really perfectly. So, just ask that to yourself. Because that is really fun. How would you know where the grass ends? I think that's what it is. Oh, if you look at in the big field, how would you know where the grass ends? This is really
And the
funny.
sky begins.
Huh?
And the sky begins.
And the sky begins. Okay, guys, I hope you're having fun in this really exclusively interview with the world-leading Bigfoot Sasquatch researcher. I only have one left question.
Well, I actually do care about that last question because we got this big place out here, and sometimes I'm on the mower, I'm going, I'm like, where do I stop?
Okay, Crazy Lake, are you ready for the last question?
Yes, hit me with it.
Okay. Who have you found to be most supportive? And who have you found to be less supportive?
Who have I found to be most supportive and who have I found to be least supportive?
Yes, correct.
This is an interesting question, and I'm glad you asked. Because here, a lot of people, they're like, what have you learned about, the structures, like how they mark their territories with X's, potentially. Keep listening. And more recently, I think I may have discovered a new form of marking that no other researcher has really pointed out before. I'm going to keep that close to my chest for now, but I think there's something that I've potentially found. But what I've learned most through almost 2 years of near exclusively being out here, potentially seeking out Bigfoot Sasquatch, is not so much about Bigfoot Sasquatch behavior, but I've kind of had confirmed to me more about human behavior, and it's due to our viewers. Now, the most supportive people in my research are the people who are open-minded, truly open-minded. And by that, what I don't mean they either think Bigfoot Sasquatch does exist, they either think Bigfoot Sasquatch does not exist, or they're not sure, they're somewhere in the middle. It's the people who are not already, they don't already have their minds made up, so please don't confuse them with any facts, okay? People who are just very, either Bigfoot's real, and if you don't believe me, I'm going to come find you and beat you up. And it's not, well, Bigfoot's fake, and we get these people. They come on the channel and say, wow, I can't believe how many, get them every day, by the hordes. I can't believe how many gullible people actually watch your videos. These people must be stupid to think this thing's real. I'm the smartest person in the world. That's what they're really trying to say. They come on here and they insult our viewers and they want everybody to know how smart they are. It's the people, and it might even be the people who are convinced Bigfoot Sasquatch is not real, but who are simply entertained by the wacky things I do when I go out there looking for him, her, it, or they. And they're encouraging. And what I think it boils down to is the most supportive people we have are people who are happy. And the least supportive people that we have are people who are miserable. It has nothing to do with their own belief in Bigfoot Sasquatch. And it has nothing to do with whether or not they truly believe I may or may not have a Bigfoot Sasquatch living in the woods behind my house. It's just people who are happy spread happiness. And people see, happiness is not an emotion as much as it is a state. It's a state of mind. And if you're there, that's what you give. And if you're miserable, that's what you give as well. And I'm sure the vertically challenged individuals who live under bridges who come here and tell me I'm stupid because I have my hat on inside out. I sold out because I make t-shirts. What's up with these construction paper cutouts and blah, blah, blah. After they leave our channel, Homesteading Off the Grid, I'm sure they go over to watch a channel about how to make candles. And they tell the people who are sharing their knowledge on candle making how much they suck. Yeah. And I'm sure the supportive people who come over and say, I'm not even sure if I believe in this, but I really enjoy watching your show and seeing what you're going to do next. And I learned some things about life out of some of the things you say. Maybe they go watch the candle maker's video and they say, I'll probably never make candles myself because I don't really have the time to put into it, but I really enjoy watching you do something you're passionate about. That's entertaining for me, and I like your outlook. Yeah.
So would you like to say thank you to those people who doesn't believe it but entertain, and then those people that who believe it but at the same time they get entertained? It's like both ways, like either they believe it or not.
Well, no, if you're supportive,
but they get entertained.
Yeah, are you asking me what I like? What I like to thank the people who support? You'll have to excuse me. This has been a very long interview.
Yeah.
I need to go to the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. I want you to discuss how to end world poverty with your viewers. Go.
Okay, guys. The question is how we end poverty.
World poverty.
World poverty. Yeah, how would we end world poverty? Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, that is really like, if you hear it, you make you think like, how would we end? That's a really
Sorry to hold up the interview.
welcome back, Crazy Lake.
You're welcome. So did you guys figure out how to solve world poverty in my absence? While I was way down there in the actor's trailer, using the restroom inside that trailer and not up here.
I guess so. In our own,
In your own special way.
yeah, in our own special way. Okay, guys, there you have it. We hear this the answer from the Bigfoot Sasquatch researcher. We hear most of you asking about this Bigfoot Sasquatch
Researcher?
about all this equipment that he's been using, and about this how it came up, the why he called it Bigfoot Sasquatch. I hope guys I hope we give you the answers that you've been wanting to hear. And by the way, Crazy Lake, thank you for allowing me to interview you. You want to say something?
No, just thank you for having me on your show.
Okay, that's it. I hope guys you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe and likes, and please don't forget to click the red bell button so that every time I upload video you always get notified. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
What was that?
You scared. You scared.